Breaking news! We're just one day away from rookie minicamp, and the energy around this team is absolutely electric. If you were excited before, just wait, because the updates we've been getting about Sean Payton's 2024 draft class, the undrafted free agents, and even the strategic moves being made behind the scenes point to something bigger than just development. This is about immediate impact. This is about turning the AFC West around. And if you're one of those fans who's been riding out the tough years just waiting for this moment, hit that like button and comment, Broncos forever in my heart. Now let's start with something that might seem like a small detail to some, but it tells you everything about this new Broncos culture. Advanced analytics from Football Insights just dropped, and Denver didn't just lead the league in age of draft picks. They dominated it. Sean Payton didn't just get his guys, he got mature guys. Guys who've been through real life. Guys who've been team captains. Guys who've stayed in college long enough to show you what kind of man, not just what kind of athlete, they are. And that matters. Why? Because Bill Parcells, Sean Payton's coaching mentor, laid out the blueprint. When you're drafting quarterbacks or high-pressure positions, he said, take seniors, take graduates, take men who've learned accountability. And that's exactly what Payton has done. The Broncos had the oldest draft class in the league, and guess what? The average age is still just 23.5. That's still young, but it's NFL-ready young. This team is being built with intention, with maturity, and it shows. Want proof? Look no further than Devin Vele. People laughed when he was drafted last year. Said, who is that? But you know what happened in week 1 against Seattle? 8 targets. Nearly led the team in receptions as a rookie, until a rib injury derailed what could have been a breakout year. You don't get that kind of trust from Sean Payton unless you've shown something rare. And this year's class is stacked with that kind of character. Take the 7th round pick everyone's talking about, tight end Caleb Blonner. The media scoffed, said he'd go undrafted, that we reached. But now we know the truth, thanks to a powerful piece in the Denver Gazette and reports from his college coaches. This kid is the real deal. He played basketball at BYU and Baylor. Didn't start a lot, but he earned the Mr. 95 award at Baylor, an honor given to the guy who does all the things that don't show up on the stat sheet. Diving for loose balls, boxing out, running the floor, hustling every second. That's exactly what Sean Payton wants in a future TE1. And it gets better. Blonner turned down nil money at Baylor and chose to transfer to Utah just to chase his NFL dream. Utah told him flat out, we don't have money for you, but if you come here, we think you'll get drafted. And they were right. His tight end coach at Utah, who also coached Tim Patrick and Devin Vele, said if he'd had Blonner for one more year, he'd be a day 2 pick. That's not hype. That's a projection from a guy who knows how NFL talent looks. And guess what else? The Colts, Patriots, Jets, and Texans all wanted him as a UDFA. The Colts even already had Tyler Warren and still tried to sign Blonner. Mike Vrabel himself reached out. When Vrabel wants a tight end, that should tell you everything. This wasn't a sleeper. This was a heist. And it gets even crazier. Blonner's agent, a former tight end for Sean Payton with the Saints. He knows exactly what it takes to play TE in this system, and he vouched for him. That's trust. That's validation. And now let's pivot to the offensive line, because this is where things really get juicy. Webb, undrafted, with a cloud hanging over him because of a federal lawsuit. But now we know the truth. The case was dismissed before the draft, but nobody reported it until this week. That's a tragedy for Webb, because this guy should have gone in the 4th round. Scouts had him as the 3rd best center in the entire class. Mike Kliss reported it. NFL.com's grades back it up. Webb was once ranked above Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels as a high school recruit, but a juvenile prank at 18 derailed his whole collegiate career. No, it wasn't pretty. Yes, it was dumb, but it wasn't malicious. And now that the case is over and done, the Broncos just landed a starting caliber center as an undrafted free agent. If he beats out Luke Wattenberg, which is very possible, you're looking at one of the best UDFA steals in the entire league. Webb was a 5-star recruit who went to Georgia and later balled out at Jacksonville State. He's been under pressure since he was 18. Now he gets a clean slate and a fresh start under Sean Payton. You don't think he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder? And then, just when you think the class couldn't get any better, here comes the R.J. Harvey revelation. We already knew the Jaguars were mad they missed him, but now we're hearing they may start Bahal Tootin over Travis Etienne. Think about that. If the guy Jacksonville is starting over a former 1st-round pick was plan B behind Harvey, that tells you everything about what Harvey brings to the table. He's not just a solid prospect. He's a future star. Book it right now. 1,000 rushing yards in year 1. And if you don't believe it, just wait for the tape to roll in from camp. And the love isn't just coming from fans and scouts. Former players are chiming in. Chris Harris Jr. said this might be the most balanced defense he's ever seen. No weaknesses, he said. DeMarcus Ware compared Nick Benito to Von Miller and Shaq Barrett in one body. That's not casual praise. That's coming from a Hall of Famer. And with Jade Barron in the slot, Quay Robinson rotating in at edge, and the best CB in football in Pat Certain, this defense is set to dominate. And don't forget, schedule release is coming early. We're expecting international game announcements and primetime flexes before the official May 15th drop. The Broncos are going to have maximum primetime appearances. That's my prediction. Why? Because the league sees what we see. The hype is real. The roster is ready. The quarterback is confident. And Sean Payton? He's just getting warmed up. So let's go. Broncos country. Drop your takes below. Who's your favorite rookie from this class? Will RJ Harvey lead the team in rushing? Does Webb make the final 53? Is Caleb Blonner the next Julius Thomas? Hit that like button if you're fired up. Subscribe so you don't miss our next video. It's a full breakdown of the Broncos' early primetime schedule leaks and what it means for the team's playoff chances. And it's not just the offense or defense that's bringing the hype. It's the overall attitude shift in the building that's giving this Broncos team an edge it hasn't had since the no-fly zone days. Sean Payton is doing more than calling plays. He's restoring a culture of accountability, toughness, and relentless competition. You can feel it from the top of the depth chart to the last undrafted rookie. And here's the thing, this roster isn't just competitive in terms of AFC West standings. It's competitive in every single positional room. That's where championships are born. Let's zero in on one more name that's been turning heads during the early phases of this rebuild, Pat Bryant. If you've been following closely, you already know Sean Payton isn't shy with comparisons, and when he says a guy reminds me of Michael Thomas, you listen. That's not a throwaway line. That's a targeted, system-based comparison. And now we're learning that Bryant had one drop in 78 targets last season. That kind of reliability in a Big Ten offense that didn't exactly light up the passing game speaks volumes. He's strong at the catch point. He's a hands catcher. He doesn't waste steps in his routes. He separates without needing elite speed. That's what Michael Thomas did for years in New Orleans, and that's what Bryant can bring here in Denver. And the kicker? Bryant was a team captain too, just like almost every single member of this draft class. That's not a coincidence. That's a strategy. The Broncos led the NFL in drafting former team captains, and it shows. These guys aren't just talented. They're trusted. They've led before. They've taken hard coaching. And they're walking into a locker room that's already full of alphas who demand accountability. That's the glue. That's how you avoid a fractured locker room when adversity hits. Now, let's swing back to defense, because if you think the offense is dangerous, you haven't seen anything yet. This defense could be generational. Not just great, not just playoff caliber. Elite. Let's break it down. At corner, you've got Pat Certain too, arguably the best pure cover man in the league. Now pair him with Jade Barron, who brings that Chris Harris Jr. slot versatility and ball skills, and Riley Moss, who's quietly developed into a reliable outside corner. That's a trio that can go toe-to-toe with any WR group in the AFC. At edge, you've got Baron Browning, Nick Bonitto, and now Quay Robinson. Bonitto just got praised by DeMarcus Ware, who said he sees elements of Vaughn and Shaq Barrett in his game. That's not just hype, it's real. Bonitto has finally found his stride, and Robinson, that guy was underused at Alabama, but his tape pops. He's twitched up, he's violent, he's hungry. Watch for him to carve out a role early in the rotation.